We just want to let you know we will be live streaming on LinkedIn and recording, so feel free to keep your camera off. Right, just a quick introduction to start with. My name is Andrew Walker, and together with my wife and business partner, Susanna, we're co-owners of Beacon Business Commercial Services. You can see our mission on the screen in front of you. It is quite simply to help business owners to improve the profit, growth and value of their business. Now, since starting BBCS, we've seen that many small business owners started their journey on an idea for a product or a service, but without thinking what they want to achieve with their business and what they need to do to make it happen. In essence, a plan. Just as an example, we recently started with a new client on a project related to processes, but it quickly became clear that they were overwhelmed and really struggling to grow the business. And more importantly, perhaps had no life outside work because everything revolves around them. We're now working with them to align their personal life, the vision that they have for that, with their business vision, and building a plan to help them achieve their goals. With our hands-on approach, we aim to reduce their workload and help them enjoy a better life balance. Ultimately, it's about creating a business that works for you instead of you working for your business.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So, simple tips to create your business plan. We will start why it is important a business plan, then the key elements, and how you some tips for you to create it. So I want to start with the question of why is a business plan so important? So I want you to think of the last time that you decided woke up, going on holidays, pick up the car and sit there and decide, okay, I'm going on holiday. I go to the airport and I say, where is the next plane going? Because I'm going on holiday. The reality is that we don't do that. We plan the holiday. We plan the time when you have appointments that you can cancel, or we allocate days for that. We plan on money, how much money we can spend. We plan actually where is the hotel that we're going to stay. It's very, very, I don't really actually know anyone that literally wake up in the morning, sit down in the car and say, I'm going on holiday. Because when you don't, even if you do that, if you don't know where you're going on holiday, you probably spend the morning, sit down in the car and you don't go anywhere. So, and we don't do that because it has so many things that can go wrong. So if you think about your business and think, why do you need a plan? You need a plan because independent if you are a new business owner or you actually have decades under your belt, you need to understand and identify where do you want to go and the key activities in order to achieve it. Because a business plan is a roadmap. It is a roadmap that will take you from point A, where you are today, to point B, where you want to be. Without defining where that point B is or what it is, you can't decide what or how are you gonna get there, or even if B is achievable. So that's the reason why to have a business plan is so important. In terms of the key elements, to think about when you are putting together your business plan, the first thing is, as Andrew mentioned at the beginning, business vision. Define the business vision. Basically, where is your point B? As your business owner, you need to be clear about what you want to achieve with your business. Otherwise, we become an employees of the entity that is running our life. So you need to think about what will the scale of your business be? Do you want it to be a multi-million business organization? You want to be the top one solicitor in the region. So defining where B is your first step to achieve it. So and things that you need to consider when thinking about your business vision, it is understanding, okay, what is your differentiation point? Which is your value proposition? What is your quality position? Which are the standards of customer service that you want to set up for your organization? How is the team culture? And how you will train them to make sure that they will deliver this customer experience. So that's why having the business vision is so important. The next thing when you are putting together your business plan is to do a SWOT analysis. Basically, a SWOT analysis is the analysis of your business, the market, to understand where you are today. So the SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are related to yourself and your business. What are you good at? What do you have to improve? Opportunities and threats are outside your organization, and you need to know them to actually take these opportunities and be aware of the threats. The next element of a business plan is milestones, because milestones are checkpoints. If you it will show you the progress in the right direction, and it also gives you the opportunity to actually celebrate those small wins. And in order that the milestone is one, you actually have to know how you are going to measure success. Because when you have this milestone, you want to know that you're going in the right path, but you need to define how I'm going to measure that I'm doing it. So KPIs, or key performance indicators, is where it will tell you if you are in the right track. If you are in a service business, revenue, profit, active customers that took your training, or a customer that continue buying from you are some of the KPIs. If you are in the products industry, it is all about profit and revenue too, but maybe units sold, average order value, and so on. So you need to think, when you are putting to your business plan, you need to know that it is your business vision. Do a SWOT analysis to know exactly where you are, and set up those milestones with KPIs to measure. So in terms of tips for creating your plan. So as I said, the SWOT analysis is really important, and many people get a little bit scared of what this means. But it starts from one side. What's your starting point? So basically, what is your point A today? So today, what are your biggest achievements? What are the biggest lessons that you have learned? What worked? What didn't work? There are so many people doing a lot of activities, especially in marketing, we see, or spending endless hours on social media for not getting any results. So, and that it is that what are you doing today is bringing you where you want to be tomorrow. So what are your greatest strengths? What are you really good at? What are the areas that you need to improve? Also, it's important that you know, okay, if I'm planning to be the top 1 solicitor in the Munster region, so which are the resources available that I have that will allow me to do that? So resources available is not just about budget, it is also about the team or the potential team. Which type of a structure do you will need to have to when this business move from A to B? Because remember, A is where you are today, and the gap to where you want to be is gonna be the roadmap that you put together with your business plan. So resources is about budget, it's about team, skills, tools, system, etc. So the next part for your SWOT analysis is also about your customers. Who are your customers? In order that you can effectively communicate with them, you need to know their needs, their interests. You need to go where they go for information, how they consume information, or how they make decisions. So for those in the B2B space, you know that actually since the pandemic to now, 82% of the research is done online. So a B2B, in the past, that was a salesperson will go and provide answers to a buyer. At this moment, we're talking about 82% of people in the B2B space do the research online before contacting anyone in any organization. So if you, for example, are still basing your selling process on salespeople on face of customers, but there are 82% of them that will never, ever will talk about your company. So also when you're talking about your customer, the most important part of information is to understand what is the problem they have and they don't want. When you are talking to a customer, they will not tell you, I need to buy the service of the bookkeeper, for example. What they have is a terrible problem that they don't want to deal with all these notes, and they don't want to be fined by revenue and so on. So their problem don't necessarily are they will not be going to Google to look for a bookkeeper in itself, unless that someone told them that the problem that they have can be solved with a bookkeeper. So when you think about your customers, you really need to try to understand, and the more detailed information you have from them, you have more chances of communicating effectively with them. Do you have any questions here? Okay, so the next tip, identify your competitors. So it is important that you identify competitors in your industry and research them. A competitive analysis should examine your competitors' features, market share, pricing, marketing, which channel are they using, differentiators, which are their strengths, where are their weaknesses, where are they located, which type of culture they have. You can, at this moment, it's very easy because most of the information is already there online. You can review customer, or you can go to customer reviews in Google, you can see the conversation in different forums and so on. But being really clear who your competitors are, it is very, very important. You can use this information as a comparison for you, your business, in terms of identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Also, identifying your competitors, you need to think that who are your competitors? So if you're talking about a weight loss, there are, for achieving the same results, so someone who has the problem that is overweight to get the solution that it is not being overweight, there are many different solutions to that. Personal trainer, dieting, pills, surgery. So when you are thinking about your competitors, doesn't necessarily mean that it is someone doing exactly the same than you. You need to think about your competitors as who else is providing a solution that can solve the problem that my business is solving. The next tip, as I said at the beginning, a big important part of your business plan is to knowing your business vision. So, and this is your point B, so where you want to be. But that is the long-term objective. In order that the business plan is effective, you need to set it up with goals to be achieved during a year. For that, you need to set up goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. That's a SMART goal. And why it has to be achievable and realistic? Because if you put the bar too high, you are going to be bothered to go for it. But it has to stretch you, because if there is no stretch, there is no growth. So when you are putting the goals for, if you, for example, want to become the top dog-friendly cafe in the Munster region, maybe your goals for year one is going to be increase the traffic by 25%, increase your turnover by 10%, and retain your 2 employees, so reduce staff turn. If those are your goals, then the rest of activities that you are doing is around how we'll achieve those goals. So in order to retain those employees, which activities do I need to do in order to keep them? To how the training that I have to give them, and so on. So when you are thinking about this goal setting, the best thing it is to pick up all your business vision, create the milestones, and see how long it's going to take you each of those milestones. And if it's longer than a year, you have to set up the goals, different objectives to actually achieve the next milestone. So is that clear? Do you have any question on this? No? The next tip, it is about write down, because if you don't write it down, you don't commit to it. If you don't see it, so first of all, it's taken off your head and put it on paper. When it is on paper and it is concise, you will get the focus. Second, you will have the accountability of writing it down and say, okay, I have it here. This is what I want to achieve. Your team, we all know that our teams, what they want is to work with us. They want to feel valued. and to feel valued, they need to feel that what they are doing every day, it doesn't matter how many hours they spend working, it is that I'm contributing to something bigger. It is not about the task of today, it is where we want to go. So sharing the plan with your team will actually involve them in the activity, and they will help you to actually shape the future of your business. Writing it down and telling your team about it, it really pushes you to actually be accountable. You already said it aloud. You want to be the top dog-friendly cafe in Monster region. Well, now you have to go for it. So, and the last tip is about reviewing and adapt. When completing the business plan, review it on monthly basis versus your performance. So many businesses create a business plan when either looking for a funding or because they know that to start a business, you need one. And then they keep it safely in the drawer or in the hard drive, and they never see it again. So the idea of having the business plan, it is a live document, and you should be used it as a compass, because as I said at the beginning, your business plan, it is a roadmap to take you from where you are today to where you want to be in the future. If the information in the business plan is not relevant, maybe neither are your decisions. So take it with you every month, sit down and look, am I achieving the milestone that I set? I am doing the things that I said that I will do. So when you actually have it on with you, it will really become live in terms of what a business plan is. So with that, actually, I finished my tips. Do you have any questions? No. So, but I do have a question for you. So how many of you, hi, Anush.
Anush has a question.
Yes, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Susanna. Thanks, Andrew. Just had a very quick question. One of when you were going through the steps, one of the steps of market research or identify target market. So, what's the best way to do that? Like, I mean, how? So, say for example, if I'm writing a business plan, so how would I try to do the market research? Do I do it on the internet, or do I do some surveys or focus groups, or how do I get the data from the consumers?
It is a mixed. So it depends. For example, in a large organization, you do focus groups, survey, and you spend a lot of money trying to get the feedback. Or if you have customers, you can do a forum, so focus group with your customers to actually to get it. One of my insights on that is that when you have a group of customers that are very keen on doing focus group with you, it means that they will tell you they're wonderful all the time. Because the one that don't want to be engaged with that is the one that actually you should be talking to. So when depending on your budget, with the customers, we actually do online research. So we go, for example, depending on, as I said, the example of the dog friendly cafe.
Yeah.
So you look at the location, where it's going to be, what are the other cafes around? If there are other dog friendly cafes, what are they offering? So it is dog friendly in the dog house outside when it's raining, or is dog friendly that you are inside with the dog, like if you were in your living room. So that's how, and if it's wider, for example, a software company, you can do surveys, anything more than 5 minutes. In a survey, you have to pay them. People don't do more than 5 minutes, and never put 1 to 5 because people go to the middle one, so they don't give you an answer. So if you want an answer of very good or very bad, put it 4, 7, so that they don't go for the middle, because that's the easy way to answer a survey. Okay. You can use, there are polls in social media. You can go to forums, for example, depending on the product. I've seen in the self-development one for housing, so that you are going to build your own house. And there is a huge group where there are many consumers in that space. If you ask questions that doesn't look like market research, so that means that if you add them value and then once in a while you ask the question, you start getting information.
Yeah.
So the answer, it depends on your budget. You can go for the big wide custom focus group and survey that if it's more than 5 minute answer, you need to offer reward. Or you can actually go for the smaller one that we normally do. It is a little poll in different social media, going to different group or forums to ask for information. If you are actually testing products like a SaaS product, for example, you go to the different, you look what is your competitors, what it is different. So why you're introducing this product? So why is the need that you're gonna cover? And you can actually reach out to users, because it's like users, if I'm using, let's say, the Mac, and I have certain services with that. If you ask me what I like it or what I don't like, I will be more keen about giving you my information without asking anything on the back, because you're asking my opinion and I feel important.
Yeah, no, the problem is that, say for example, like I'm trying to like work on a business plan, and I want to know, like I know what is the differentiator between so I'm kind of writing my business plan, so I know what's the differentiator, what's something extra that I'm offering apart from the current competitors in the market. But the thing is that I want to know whether that USP or that differentiator is worth it and people actually want it or not. So how do I reach to normal people, like just, asking like, do you think this is a good idea?
So do the product exist already?
No, it doesn't exist. No, I'm working on it as we speak. Like,
okay, so I will suggest a service. And in service, I think it doesn't need to be super expensive. It could be just a voucher of 50 euros or 50 euros in Amazon or something, a couple of numbers of those. And I will actually look for partners or people. Partners, I mean other companies or people that you know that have a wide base of customers on it. For example, if your customer is someone that it is between the age of 18 and 22, they are definitely in TikTok. So if you know someone that is in TikTok that don't need to have millions, because it could be 5 or 6 people that have a number that is decent, and you can ask them, hey, can you actually ask this question? So that kind of, if they are end consumers and depending on the age group. So if it's very business and you think that LinkedIn is the platform to do the questionnaire, so again, reach out in the platform to people that has those contacts and say, hey, any chance that you put this poll and ask this question?
Fair enough.
And that, I mean, this is the kind of the cheap way, and it's how you can take basically advantage of networking and collaboration.
Yeah.
We all know that if someone helps you today, maybe tomorrow you will help them. And that is how we actually will, how they say it, something about the hands. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Susanna.
You're welcome. So I have a question. So for the business owners there, do you have a business plan? No.
Sorry, the question was, do we have a business plan? Is it?
Yeah, so but for the other people, the one that are already business owners, do they have a business plan?
Yes, Susanna. It's Lucy.
Do you have? Yes. Hi, Lucy. Yeah. Do you have one? So what is the part that is more difficult for you to keep updated?
Sometimes the financial side. Yeah. Keeping track, I mean, I do my accounts regularly, but going back and looking at business plan, are they correlating to the accounts? Sometimes I forget to do that. It's important.
Yes, no, I just trying to figure out what is the part of the business plan that people take that I find it more difficult, because what we have found so far is what Anush was talking about, understanding the market and the competitor landscape. That it is like something, so many people for the pandemic, for example, provide a moment that everything stopped. It was a shock to the system, to everyone, and everyone was in that moment and we have to adapt. But the reality is that life is not like this. Customers change behavior slowly and we don't notice it. And suppliers turn up with a difference, or Anuj come up with a new solution for something, and the competitors didn't notice it because actually we were just looking into us, and we're not looking outside. So that's the kind of the two areas that we see most of the customers. Well, obviously besides doing the business issues, but in terms of the SWOT analysis, that's the area that they struggle the most.
True. Yes.
So if there are no more questions, I'll continue.
Thank you, Susanna. Just to really start the wrap up, I mentioned at the beginning that we help our clients to align their business as it is today to the business and the life they want to have in the future. The key for us is really when we work with our clients to ensure there's something for you to bear in mind, that the operational areas are aligned with your strategy and your vision. And that's where we really kind of stress the need to have a clear business vision so much. You know, there's a great phrase, you know, stick to your vision, adapt your plan. That's something Susanna touched on the tips. Our approach, really, it's all about rolling up our sleeves and really getting involved. We look into those areas which the business owner can control. And, you know, they're very clear. They're on the right-hand side of the screen, strategy, operations, culture, etc. Yes, of course, you have to be aware of what's going on in the external environment. But can you directly control that? Absolutely. No, you can't. So our goal is always to focus on what's within the control of the business owner, to highlight actionable activities to help improve their business. You know, I touched on the client example at the beginning, who was very much overwhelmed with the day-to-day operations of the business. You know, really just keeping it running, but didn't have the time to really think about how to improve efficiency and how to drive profitable growth. And now that's what we're working with him on focusing on how we can drive the business, help improve his work-life balance, because he spends all the time working in the business, and most importantly, delivering a plan to help enable the achievement of the goals. Now, our process is quite simple. You know, before we start working with a client, we spend close to 3 hours with them. The first session, roughly an hour, we identify the business challenges that the client is facing. And then in the second meeting, which we call our diagnostic meeting, can take up to 2 hours, but we really dive deep into the root causes of the issues. And we quantify using our software tool, the profit leakage number. You can see the opportunity that exists for the business. And then in our final session, we present our solutions and how we can help add value to that particular client. You know, ultimately, what we want to work with our clients and help them to be a success. We often see ourselves, refer to ourselves as business success partners. Now, we recognize and appreciate the time that people take to come to our webinars. So we offer some limited slots to have a one-to-one discussion on business planning, to perhaps act as a bit of a sparring partner for you on any specific areas you may have a challenge on. So you can either, if you'd like to take one of those slots, you can scan the QR code on the screen in front of you, or alternatively, if you like, you can email us hello@bbcs.ie. The only thing we ask is if you can act quite promptly on that, because obviously our calendars get booked up quite quickly. So we appreciate the time. We hope you've taken some nuggets, some learnings, something that you can implement in your business away from this quick session with us. If there aren't any other questions, all that remains is to say, listen, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon. Goodbye for now.
Thank you. Thanks, Susanna. Thanks, Andrew.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.